My name is Isabel Nixon Klein, and I'm teaching the Acting for Film and TV workshop today, so I hope that's why you're here. I've been acting most of my life in the theater, and in the recent few years, I've scooched over to like short films and such. I grew up in very rural Lewis County, and ever since a young age, I was able to devote most of my personal time to theater and filmmaking and all the fun artsy stuff. I grew up acting in a little community theater where when it rained, there was water that would get on the stage and in the audience because there was leaks everywhere. There was like no funding. You know how those nonprofit arts organizations work, right? So as I've transitioned my acting from on a stage in a theater to on a screen in film, I've noticed a couple of things that set them apart and the challenges that come with each. So today we're going to be focused mainly on the physicalities of each and how they differ. That's kind of where I come in with my experience. Is I grew up doing dance and theater. So that's a really physical platform, whereas for film, it's not as physical. It's a little bit smaller, a little bit different. So we're gonna be focusing on those differences today. And we're gonna get a little silly here. So I hope you guys are all okay with that. We're gonna talk a little bit about Commedia dell'arte, which is an ancient Italian art of clowning. Isn't that a sentence, right? Now, we're probably never gonna use Commedia dell'arte in film. It's a very physical, very big acting form. However, I think it's important to study these characters because the archetypes that these characters are built off of are recognizable to audiences today. They're very prominent in a lot of media currently. Commedia dell'arte was popular way back from the 16th century to the 18th century. These clown troupes performed on tilted stages, and they would fold up into these little traveling caravans, and so they could go visit little towns. The actors would wear, those classic clown costumes, right? Like stripes and the fruffles around the necks, polka dots, and they wore masks when they would perform. Not, 21st century masks, obviously. They would wear these masks that had almost grotesque features, very phallic-looking noses, very silly things to portray each of these characters. And there were no scripts, usually, and because there was no talking. It was all improv, and it was all silent, right? That's kind of how clowning goes. So this ancient art of clowning, Commedia dell'arte, is made up of many characters which all have different physical parameters that go along with them. And we're gonna learn a couple of them now, a handful, and we're gonna walk across the room as these characters. Now these are really silly, so keep that in mind. Let's all start on this side of the room. So first up, we have the Zani. The Zani is the servant. This is the lowest of the low of the characters that we are going to learn about today. The Zani is silly and stupid and always up for a joke, right? Zani moves in a very low stance, in a big second position, bent knees, really silly, and he moves kind of like a spider. He has spindly, spidery fingers ready to serve whoever may need something. And when the Zani walks, this is really, you guys are gonna love this. When the Zani walks with big legs kicked up as far as you can go, all the way across the room with the little spindly fingers. And yes, you guys are all gonna do this. Let's go across the room. All right, we're gonna walk all the way to the other side of the room with a low stance and spindly fingers. All right, are you ready? Let's go. Kick those legs up. Kick those legs up as far as they can go. Oh, I love it. Perfect. Yes, Paula, go for it. Yes. Get into it. Oh my gosh. You guys have no idea how silly you look right now. Yes. Fantastic. Yes, Ed. Perfect Zanis. Okay. That's the lowest of the low. The next up on the chain of command is the ARLECCHINO. The ARLECCHINO, sometimes referred to as the Harlequin, is often the narrator or a musician or a troubadour, and they kind of facilitate the story usually. Sometimes they're found on stage with a lute. The ARLECCHINO stands in a fourth position, so feet apart, toes pointed away from the body just a little bit low. And the ARLECCHINO sashays around, probably hands out to the sides usually, sashays around. And the Arlecchino has a little tip of the hat and a bow to perhaps a pretty girl. So we tip our hat with a flexed foot. Flexed foot, put our hat back. Maybe give a rose to a pretty lady or a pretty man. There you are. And we sashay around. So let's sashay across the room and do a little sashay and a little tip of the hat. Tip of the hat. And back on the head. Oh my gosh, beautiful, gorgeous. Nice. All right, next up we have the lovers. The lovers are often the protagonists of the story. They are usually the ones who don't have masks on. They don't have these weird looking masks on because the audience needs to relate to them, right? The protagonists walk around with pointed feet. The feet are always pointed and usually up on their tiptoes, hands at the ready, beautiful hands ready to catch you if you faint, right? And they take little small steps. Tiptoe, tiptoe, and pose. Tiptoe, tiptoe, and pose. They move a little bit and then they pose in their beautiful lovers pose. Hands on the chest, hands in the air, either one. So let's go ahead and tiptoe across and strike a few poses while you're at it. Tiptoe. Point that foot and pose. Tiptoe. Point that foot and pose. Oh, beautiful. You all look so in love. So airy and light. Yes. Nice. Okay. The last character, the last Commedia dell'arte character we're going to learn about is the Pantalone. The Pantalone is the old, gross, rich man who nobody likes, like Ebenezer Scrooge or like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons, right? Those are classic examples of the Pantalone. This character stands in first position, heels together. Fingers are up at the ready, ready to meddle in someone else's purse. The Pantalone loves money. That is the driving character for the Pantalone. And the Pantalone has back issues. So we're gonna hunch that back as far down as you can go. And a little bit of bend in the knees is good. And the Pantalone takes tiny little greedy steps. Let's walk across. Get those fingers twirling. Oh, my back. And keep going. Oh, those back issues. Oh, oh dear. Oh. Oh, you all look very, very greedy. Yes. Nice. All right, now that we've got a little warmed up, a little bit silly, we're gonna do a little bit of a cool down exercise. I'm gonna have you guys pair off. Hopefully we have an even number. I think we do. Yeah, so go ahead and grab a partner, come out into the room. And pick a spot on the floor.
Sitting?
You can sit or you can stand up. We are going to do a mirror exercise. I'm sure some of you guys have done this before. So you're going to face your partner, and you are slowly, one of you or both of you are slowly going to start moving your body. And you have to mirror the other person. And try and go fairly slow so that way you can copy each other's movements. Yeah, exactly like Paula over there and Rebecca. Yeah, try and move as one. That is the goal here. Move slowly, pay attention to the other person's movements, how fast they're going, how slow they're going. What are their hands doing? Oh, we need another partner. Do you want to hop in here with this group? We'll make a trio.
Good right here.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Ooh, I like what we got going on the floor here. You know it's good when you can't tell who's leading. If you've been leading the mirror exercise, let the other person lead now. Okay, now I want you to incorporate some levels into your movements. If you've been standing and doing things at arm length, you know, at an arm's length, at this level, at chest level, do something lower, do something higher. If you've been doing something low and on the ground, do something a little bit higher, a little bit out to the sides. Go ahead and switch up your movements. Ooh, ambitious. Hillary and Heather standing up as one. Okay, we're gonna go for about 10 more seconds. And then we're gonna switch partners. Okay, everyone freeze. All right, nice work, everyone. We're gonna switch partners. And go ahead and find a new partner. And I'm gonna have you join in with a group, and we'll have a group of 3, which will be even more interesting. Okay, perfect. All right, this time I need you guys to all incorporate movement on the floor and movement above your heads. That's your challenge for this one. And for, unfreeze, sorry. I almost had you frozen there for a while. And I also want you to incorporate some facial features. Maybe a frown, maybe a smile, maybe some eyebrows, whatever you'd like, okay? Go for it. Ooh, good facial features, Sarah. Yeah, I like it. Ooh, on the ground, nice. Okay, we're gonna go for about 15 more seconds. Okay, everyone go ahead and stand up. Nice mirror movements, everyone. That's a great exercise to kind of get you focused and in tune with your body as well as with the people that you're with in the room.
It sounds like a bunch of celery.
So next up, we are going to do an emotions exercise. We are going to picture our emotions are on a sliding scale of 1 to 10. So a 1 is perhaps barely noticeable, right? Maybe there's like a twitch in the face to give away what emotion you're trying to portray. Maybe you're only thinking about the emotion at number 1. 5 is going to be noticeable, right? 5 is moderate, 5 is in the middle. You're definitely going to sell your features, but they aren't going to be overpowering and they aren't going to be overdoing it at all, right? A 10 is a full-out endeavor, okay, of the body, of the mind, whatever you want to do. If you want to be a clown at 10, you can be a clown. If you want to be bigger than life, you can do that at a 10, right? So we're going to try and stretch emotions from a 1 all the way up to a 10. We're going to walk around the room and I'm going to have us pick out an emotion. At first, you can pick whatever emotion you'd like. If you have trouble picking out an emotion, I'd suggest one of the big 4 emotions, which are happy, sad, mad, scared, right? Those are the 4 big emotions. So you could pick one of those and we're going to walk around the room, all mingle with each other, and I'm going to call out numbers. And we're going to go up the scale, and then we might go back down. We might jump around in the scale. And we're going to test out how far we can bring an emotion. How far up that scale can we go in this space? And you can use your facial features, you can use your body, you can isolate and just use your face if you'd like, whatever is comfortable to you. So go ahead and think about your emotion that you're going to pick. It can be one of the big four, or you can pick something, a subcategory of one of those four emotions. Go ahead and pick your emotion. All right, let's start walking around the room. And we're at a 1. We're going to go up to a 3. And a 4. 5. And a 7. And an 8. And a 9. We're getting up there. Yeah. I see some great reactions over here. And a 10, you're all out. Whatever emotion you're portraying is over the top. It's there. If you want to be vocal, you can be vocal. You can do whatever you'd like. Oh, I see some great angry faces, some sad. I see some happy. This is fantastic. Let's go back down to a 2. Adjust those levels. Let's go back down to a 2, a trace of that emotion. Take a deep breath. Let's go back down to a 1. That emotion is barely there. Okay, let's go back up to a 5. A 5 is there, and it's not overpowering. Let's all freeze, drop our emotions. Let's take a deep breath. I think I saw happy, sad, mad, and scared. I'm glad you guys picked a good variety. You guys are great. Okay, now you can pick an emotion. I would suggest a different emotion. However, if you had fun with the emotion you were doing, go ahead and pick it again. And this time we are going to isolate. We are going to use only our bodies. We are going to try and stay away from facial features, and we're going to use arms, legs, torso, head. You can stomp. You can jump for joy. You can spin. You can be as creative as you want. You can fall on the ground. Let's try and just be a little bit physical with our bodies, and then next we're going to do faces, okay? So go ahead and pick your emotion. All right, we got our emotions. All right, let's start at a 1. Okay, let's do a 2. And let's go up to a 5. Okay, let's do a 7. Let's do an 8. Let's go up to a 9. Push those levels. And a 10, all out. And freeze. Okay, we are going to use our facial features next. If you want to use the same motion, you can use the same motion. If you want to use a different emotion, go ahead and pick a different one. Okay, we're going to start out at a 4 this time, using just our facial features. So you can use lips, you can use eyes, you can use eyebrows, you can use cheeks, nose. Those are the things we have to work with now instead of our bodies. We're still going to continue to walk around. However, let's focus on our faces. If you let a little physical gesture slip in there every now and then, that's okay too. Okay, let's pick, you know what, today we're gonna pick a emotion that we're all gonna do. Let's go with sad. We're all gonna do sad. Let's continue walking around the room. And let's do a 4. Okay, let's go up to a 6. A little bit more sad. You can see it on your face for sure. Think about what features of your face you are contorting and moving to convey this emotion to the audience and to the world around you. Are you using your lips? Are you using your eyebrows? Let's move up to an 8. We're really sad at this point. I don't know what happened. Maybe your dog died. It's kind of sad though. It's affecting us. Let's move up to a 9. You're so sad. Okay, let's move up to a 10. We're so sad at this point. Something really sad has happened. It's so sad. Let's move down to a 6. It's a little less sad. It's still very sad. But we've gotten over the hump of the 10. Let's go back down to a 6. We're sad. Maybe the tears have stopped at this point, but we're still really sad. Let's move down to a 4. We're gloomy. Let's move down to a 2. And down to a 1. And we're done being sad. Nice work, everyone. You guys got pretty sad there for a second. That was pretty upsetting. Next up, we are going to, how much time do we have left? Oh, we have a good amount of time. So if you might have noticed, a 10 is pretty sad. You get pretty into it, right? Your face can contort in such ways that even on film, you know, probably might not be the best. You might be overdoing it. They might say, Isabel, pull back. So you need your job as a film actor is to find out where for your body and your face are those emotions going to land on that scale when you're acting on film versus on a stage, right? On a stage, you might be able to go all the way up to a 10 without overdoing it, but you might have to go farther down on the scale to execute that same look on film, right? Next up, we are going to, shortly I'm going to set up a camera and a stool, and we are all going to get in frame, and we're gonna go through emotions 1 through 10, and then we're gonna watch playback. So you can see your faces on a screen, and you can see what it looks like on a screen versus in the mirror, versus on a stage, versus whatever else you may have seen your face in before. We're gonna see what it looks like with framing. So, like I said, usually 10 it will only ever be used on stage where the framing is anywhere from like 20 feet across to like a big Broadway stage that's 70 feet across and there's hundreds of audience members. So when you're acting for film, our framing is like never that big, right? You're lucky to get like a little bit of shoulder in there, right? Maybe the framing in a movie would be a close-up of your eye, which is what, like 2 inches? How much can you convey with 2 inches of your body, right? That's our job as a film actor, to think critically about how can we move our body and portray emotions and feelings through the most minuscule movements. If you blink fast, what could that portray in a scene? If you blink not at all, what could that portray in a scene, right? Sometimes blinking isn't going to be seen on a screen, though. Now, is it? So that's why sometimes it's important to know, if you're being filmed, what is the framing like? Is it going to be an ultra close-up? Is it going to be medium? Is it going to be a wide shot where your whole entire body is in the frame? If you know those things, then you can know what you have to work with. Do you have your arms and legs involved? Do you just have your eyebrows? Do you just have your cheeks? What do you have? So we've worked on our bodies, and we've done some physical acting, and we've determined that in theory, these movements will have to be shrunk quite a bit to work on film. And you usually don't get your whole body on film as you do on a stage. Some people say that when acting in film, the best way to emote is to use your eyes. Have you guys ever heard that? Where they say, you know, your soul is in the eyes, right? Yeah. And I think that's great and all. I think that's great. You can definitely say a lot with your eyes, don't get me wrong, but other facial features are important too, and I think sometimes that's forgotten, especially as beginner actors for film. Sometimes if you try and communicate through your eyes too much, it's lost, and you don't get the point through. One of the most popular actresses right now, Florence Pugh. If you've ever seen one of her movies, you might see what I think is one of her most employed facial features and facial techniques, which is a simple frown. A frown is the universal sign for unhappiness, right? We can all see that clearly and right away. I don't think I've seen an actress use a simple frown as much as she does in her stuff, and it really comes across very well. You can understand immediately, and it looks sincere. So keep in mind that the eyes are a great way to communicate, but you also have a whole other plethora of things on your face going on. So don't forget about everything else, right? Try and incorporate other things into your performance. Let's see, what do we have next? All right, so let's set up our little camera. I'm gonna have everyone stand over here. We have some marks here. This is where the stool is gonna go. But right now, we're gonna all get in frame, so we won't use the stool. So go ahead and stand in this section here, and we're gonna set up a frame for you guys to stand in. We're gonna try and scooch everyone in one take, and then we'll each do it individually afterwards. Okay. I'm gonna have you guys scoot a little bit this way. Sorry, what's that? What's that? Point which way? I have this camera who's gonna face them this way. Yeah. Right. Let me see if I can remember how to turn this on. I gotta turn on the TV first. Oh my gosh, nice work. All right, there's that. Now let's turn this guy on. Oh, there's Robert. There he is, that guy. All right, that's zoomed in a lot. That is zoomed in. There we go. There we go. All right, we got Heather, we got Michael. Nice. Let's see if we can move this. Hey, Audrey, do you know how to move these things on the screen, or should I ask Robert?
Click display. This button down slightly. Am I missing something?
There we go.
Okay.
Nice. Figured it out. Turns out if you mess around, sometimes you find out. All right. Okay, can everyone see their faces on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, great. We're not going to be looking at the screen. We're going to be looking at the camera, directly into the camera, which, mind you, sometimes you don't do in film. You don't want to look at the camera a lot of the time. However, today's different. Today we're going to look directly into this lens. Do you see that? That's where I want you to look. Okay, we are going to go through, and you can pick. Whoa. Oh my gosh.
That's the TCMedia goes.
They just want to join in. They had to get over here into the group. Okay, you can pick whichever emotion you want, and we're going to work from 1 to 10. We're going to take it, and then we're going to watch playback on the screen. Okay? So, I'll make sure everyone's in frame. Yeah, we're good. We're going to zoom in a little. Oh. All right. Go ahead, pick your emotion. Take a deep breath. Okay, we're starting at a 1. Let's go up to a 2. Whatever emotion you've picked is no longer in your mind, it's now on your face, at least a small amount. Let's go up to a 3. Maybe a 3 is noticeable to others, maybe it's not. It depends on what you think is right for your body. Let's go up to a 4. And a 5. Let's go up to a 6. A 6 is most definitely noticeable to other people. It's there on your face. Let's do a 7. Okay, let's go all the way up to 8. An 8 is a strong sense of emotion. Let's go up to a 9. It's almost as far as you can push it. It's right there at the brink. You almost can't go any farther. Now let's go all the way up to a 10. Put the most amount of emotion on your face that can fit. As much as you can get. Let's go back down to a 7. There's a difference between a 10 and a 7. What facial features are you using between a 10 versus a 7? Okay, let's go down to a 5. 5, perhaps moderate. Okay, let's do a 3. Down to a 2. The emotion has settled down. Maybe it's not on your face anymore, maybe it is. That's up to you. Let's go down to a 1. It's barely there. And let's go down to a 0. Blank faces. All right. Okay, next up, we've got a few more minutes left. So I'm going to have you guys pair off into groups. And I think I've got enough of these papers to go around. I'm going to have each group gets 1 paper. I'm just going to hand them out. There you go. If you don't have a paper, pair up with someone who does have a paper. Let's see.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Our on-screen character for this is going to be Zach. So you guys are going to take turns reading Zach, okay? The other person who's not on screen is going to be reading the other character, so you don't really need to try and emote for the other character at all. What I want you to do is to pick at least 1 emotion with Zach to portray throughout the scene. If you'd like, you can pick 2. You can switch off. However, I strongly encourage you to pick the 3rd thought. So, your first thought for this might be annoyed. Zach might be annoyed, right? But that's going to be everyone's first thought. So, take another look, and what's your second thought? Maybe mad. But that's still pretty common, right? Go ahead and take a 3rd thought and try and lead with that 3rd thought, because the 3rd thought is usually going to be more unique and a little bit more original. If you want to be happy and then scared, if you want to be whatever it might be. It's up to you. And if you want to pick something simple, go for it. Whatever you feel is right. I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes to go over this, and then we're going to take turns reading it off. All right. Let's get started. We only got 10 minutes left. Who would like to go first? Any volunteers? Otherwise, I'll pick out of the bunch. Perfect. All right. I'm going to have one of you go ahead and sit in the chair. Whoever's sitting in the chair is going to read Zach first. Hopefully we'll have time for everyone to read for Zach. The other person's going to be off screen.
2 copies.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Here we go. Got that extra. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit, and I'm putting the camera over here so you can kind of see your face in the screen as well as acting. It's okay to not be looking at the camera since we're just practicing.
Hey man, chill.
You did it. Don't lie.
Well, you have a key too, man. Maybe you did it.
We're not done here.
Relax, dude. I'm just going to get a sandwich.
We're out of bread. You ate the last piece, and it was my bread.
Don't quit your day job.
I'm going to lose my job at the zoo if you don't find that vial. Clean that up.
But you hate that job. Remember the incident that happened in the monkey house?
Monkeys aside, it buys the PB&J. Now clean that up.
Lupe's coming tomorrow.
Don't call my mom Lupe. It's Mrs. Ostrander.
She'll find it.
Turn this whole place upside down. She's not going to find it here.
Maybe you left it in the car. Did you check the trash?
All right, and let me ask you, Sarah, what emotion or emotions were you portraying?
I wanted to mostly go for being like afraid of him.
Okay.
Or wanting to make sure he didn't freak out.
Okay, and even if you don't have an answer for this, that's okay. What facial features do you think you utilized most?
Good question. My mouth.
Yeah, okay.
You know.
Yeah, I see it. All right, Ed, do you want to turn to read?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll be Zach.
Okay, so
Should I give you something to do?
All right, go for it.
Man, chill.
did it. Don't lie. You're the only other person with a key.
Well, maybe you have a key too, man. Maybe you did it.
We're not done here.
Relax, dude. Just trying to get a sandwich.
We're out of bread. You ate the last piece, and it was my bread.
Don't quit your day job.
I'm going to lose my job at the zoo if you don't find that vial. Clean that up.
But you hate that job. Remember the incident that happened at the monkey house?
Monkeys aside, it buys the P&J. Now clean that up.
Lupe's coming tomorrow.
Don't call my mom Lupe. It's Mrs. Ostrander.
She'll find it.
I've turned this place upside down. She's not going to find it here.
Maybe you left it in the car. Did you check the trash?
Nice. Okay, Ed, what emotion were you going for?
Well, I was trying to get to that third level.
I see, okay.
And so I was trying to kind of do more of a diminished but unfocused, get along, trying to disengage.
Yeah, I totally saw that. Nice work. And where do you think on the scale of emotion you were sitting at, for the most part? What do you think?
3 or 4.
Okay, yeah. All right. Okay, do we have any more volunteers? We can do a couple more. All right, go for it. All right.
Remember it?
Okay, go for it.
You did it. Don't lie. You're the only person with the key.
Well, you have a key too, and maybe you did it.
We're done here.
Relax, dude, I'm just going to get a sandwich.
We're out of bread. We ate the last piece. It was my bread.
Don't quit your day job.
I'm going to lose my job at the zoo. I'm going to lose my job at the zoo, even if I don't find that file. Clean that up.
But you hate that job. Remember the incident that happened in the monkey house?
Monkey Society buys a PB&J. Now clean that up.
Lupe's coming tomorrow.
Don't call my mom Lupe. It's Mrs. Ostrander.
She'll find it.
I turned this place upside down. She's not going to find it here.
Maybe you left it in the car? Did you check the trash?
Nice. And what emotion were you gonna go for, or emotions?
I was trying to go for like lovey, like
Yeah.
maybe it's like two husbands and he's trying to help.
I was seeing definitely, I could definitely see that. I was seeing a little bit of like innocence,
Yeah.
and because the dialogue is such opposite of that, it almost went for like a manipulation almost. That's almost how it came across, with this sickly sweet innocence against these words that are not, you know, as innocent. Yeah, it was great. Okay. All right, go for it.
Hey man, chill.
You did it. Don't lie. You're the only other person with a key.
Well, you have a key too, man. Maybe you did it.
We're not done here.
So, relax, dude. I'm just going to get a sandwich.
We're out of bread. You ate the last piece, and it was my bread.
Don't quit your day job.
I'm going to lose my job at the zoo if I don't find that vial. Clean that up.
But you hate that job. Remember the incident happened in the monkey house?
Monkeys aside, it buys the PB&J. Now clean that up.
Lupe's coming tomorrow.
Don't call my mom Lupe. It's Mrs. Ostrander.
She'll find it.
Turn this place upside down. She's not going to find it here.
Maybe you left it in the car. You check the trash.
Nice. And what emotion
I'm
or
really
emotions?
happy.
Yeah.
Just
I could see that.
I'll take that perspective on that.
And where on the scale were you playing in the most?
I don't know. I was trying not to overdo it, but probably in the middle, 5, 6.
Okay, yeah. All right, do we have anyone else who really wants to do it before I'm gonna have time for 2 more. Okay, let's make sure Rebecca and, what was your name? I'm so sorry, I forgot. And Shayna, that's right. Okay, let's have Rebecca and Shayna come on up, and you guys will each get a turn to do it before we're done. All right, Shayna, do you want to go first? All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's go with it.
Go.
Hey, man, chill.
You did it. Don't lie. You're the only other person with a key.
Well, you have a key too. Yeah. Maybe you did it.
We're not done here.
Dude, relax, dude. I'm just gonna get a sandwich.
We're out of bread. You ate the last piece. It was my bread.
Don't quit your day job.
I'm going to lose my job at the zoo if I don't find that vial. Clean it up.
But you hate that job. Remember the incident that happened in the monkey house?
Monkeys aside, it buys a PB&J. Now clean that up.
Lupe's coming tomorrow.
Don't call my mom Lupe. It's Mrs. Ostrander.
She'll find it.
I turned this place upside down. She's not going to find it here.
Maybe you left it in the car? Did you check the trash?
All right, nice. Let's switch spots. Shayna, tell us real quick, what emotion were you going for, or emotions?
I tried to go for like a little bit offensive, but like not really.
Okay. And where on the scale do you think you landed?
Maybe 5.
Okay, cool. All right, go for it, Rebecca.
Hey, man, chill.
You did it.
Don't lie. You're the only other person with a key.
Well, you have a key too, man. Maybe you did it.
We're not done here.
Relax, dude. I'm just going to get a sandwich.
We're out of bread. You ate the last piece, and it was my bread.
Don't quit your day job.
I'm going to lose my job at the zoo if you don't find that file.
But you hate that job. Remember the incident that happened in the monkey house?
Monkeys aside, it buys the PB&J. Now clean that up.
Lupe's coming tomorrow.
Don't call my mom Lupe, Mrs. Estrada.
She'll find it.
I turned this place upside down. She's not going to find it here.
Maybe you left it in the car? Did you check the trash?
Nice. And which emotions were you going for? Or emotion?
Chill.
Nice. Chill. And with the amount of chillness, where were you on the scale?
Like a 4 chill.
Okay, I see it. I hear you. Okay. All right, I think it's about time to wrap up. Did anyone really, really want to read on screen? Because we can do one more. No? Are we sure? Yeah, let's do it. All right, can anyone volunteer to read against Heather?
Well, you already got one.
Sarah, do you want to?
Or if you want to go again.
No, it's okay.
All right, go for it. Yeah. All right, Heather, come on up. Oh, yeah. Here you go. And Heather, I'm going to give you a challenge. I want you to pick 2 emotions, and at some point in the scene, I want you to change emotions. And you can either have a small change, so if you are at a 5 of happiness, you could change to a 2 of fear or something, or you can make a major change, drastic change. It doesn't have to fit the script exactly, but I want you to make a change between 2 emotions.
Hey, man, chill.
You did it. Don't lie. You're the only other person with a key.
Well, you have a key too, man. Maybe you did it.
We're not done here.
Relax, dude. I'm just going to get a sandwich.
We're out of bread. You ate the last piece, and it was my bread.
Don't quit your day job.
I'm going to lose my job at the zoo if I don't find that vial. Clean that up.
You hate that job, remember? The incident that happened in the monkey house?
Monkeys aside, it buys the PB&J. Now clean that up.
Lupe's coming tomorrow.
Don't call my mom Lupe. It's Mrs. Ostrander.
She'll find it.
I've turned this place upside down. She's not going to find it here.
Maybe you left it in the car. Did you check the trash?
Nice. And nice. Which emotions were you doing?
Just calm to fear.
Yeah, I definitely felt the fear.
Fear rising.
Yes, yes, I definitely felt that rise in there too.
Yeah, as soon as the thing got thrown, that was what provoked me.
Yeah, nice work.